That's another 2 points for the Edmonton Oilers. They didn't do it in the nicest fashion, but they got the job done in Carolina. 4-3 OT victory. Tonight, their second win on this road trip as they continue this 7-gamer. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. Gazzola, Joaquin Gage, live on location. Boston Pizza, 170th Street, 90th Avenue, a.k.a. Westgate. You got Benny Thompson back at EST Global HQ. You can text us, 780-218-9999. Share your thoughts about the game tonight. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button and that comment section, a.k.a. the nasty chat. Get in there. Get nasty. Get those elbows up. Whatever term you want to use as the Oilers walk away from Carolina with 2 points. And Jack Michaels, I'll give him credit. He likes to dig up stats. Brian Swain likes to send us a lot of stats. I'm hoping Swainer sends us something. But Jack points out that the Oilers have won 2 in a row in Raleigh for the first time ever. And 2 straight on the road for the first time against the Hurricane/Whalers franchise since 1988. It's a franchise that has really bothered Edmonton.
Yeah. It's well, I think it stems back to 06 too, Tommy. Right?
Of course. Of course.
That hurts. That really hurt. Because of the type of run it was, I think. And but I mean, the Carolina Hurricanes has been a pretty successful franchise, I would say. Right? Over the past few decades, they've always been quite competitive. And it was a competitive game tonight. It was entertaining. I'll say that for sure.
That's true.
Can't tell me that wasn't an entertaining hockey game. There was ebbs and flows like we talked about. They came to play, I would say.
Yes.
They put their best foot forward. I thought, getting out to that 2-goal lead, I think kind of caught the Hurricanes off guard a little bit. But then you saw how good a team the Carolina Hurricanes are over that next 30 minutes.
They really took over at like the 10-minute mark of the first period.
Yeah.
They were relentless the rest of the way.
I don't think the Oilers they had maybe 2. Well, they had 2 for sure, really good chances to score in the second period there. But I think those were the only chances they had.
Yeah,
really.
They had a post on one of them.
There was a post, so maybe 3. I'll throw 3 in there. But wow, what a difference the Hyman makes, right? Like. There was a definite change in the way that game unfolded. Like, I think he had 6 hits within that first 10 minutes, too.
He had that one shift where he stood up everybody around him when they tried to go by him in the first period.
You know what I noticed, too? That hitting during a hockey game, Tommy, like you played, when one guy's running out there and hitting guys, it becomes a little bit infectious where other guys start doing the same thing. And I was hoping I wasn't wrong beforehand saying that having Zach Hyman play that way creates more guys to start playing in that type of hard-nosed game. Yep. And we saw that. But more importantly, you finally saw the other team focusing, like Hyman would hit someone and 3 other guys from the Hurricanes also tried to hit him to get him back. Like, you were taking teams out of their comfort zone, more worried about getting retribution for this guy running around out there than actually focusing on the game itself. It was that's the first time in 20 games I've seen the team kind of focus on a player to be physical against the Edmonton Oilers.
Zach Hyman had 11 hits.
That's more than
The rest of the team, I just did a quick tally, and it came up with 15. Jeez. Hyman 11, the rest of the Oilers 15.
Yep. I mean, so the mantra of I guess there was a direct correlation because the Edmonton Oilers didn't have a puck a lot in that 30 minutes after the first 10 of the first. So maybe there's more opportunity for Zach to throw hits, but still, great game by Hyman. I was shocked at how seamlessly he got into game mode, so to speak. Like he was a huge difference maker. We'll probably get to stars of the game, but I'll tell you right now who my number 1 star is, and it's going to drive everyone crazy. Stuart Skinner's the reason why the Edmonton Oilers won that hockey game tonight, guys.
Benny, there was one point in the game where there was like a nifty redirection in front of the net. Skinner gloved it, and I looked at Joaquin. I was like, that was a nice redirection. He goes, Tommy, that was a nice save.
Tommy's got Skinner disease.
No, I've been blamed for defending him way too much. But just the way you said it, I was being sincere. I'm like, that was a nice redirection. You're like, no, Tommy, that was a nice save. I appreciate that. Oh, look at this. Big Uke just showed up. Jasmine. Oh, we got a good crew here. Benny, some of your takeaways from tonight's 4-3 Oilers win in overtime.
Okay, yeah. So for the first 37 minutes of this hockey game, I was stunned to see the Oilers tied after it. Stunned. I thought that 2-0 lead was flattering to how they were playing. Got just horrible turnovers from start of the game, pretty much all through the second period. I noted their top line with about 3 minutes left in the second period started to change the tide a little bit. Got had a good shift. Next line followed, had a good shift. The final 3 minutes of that second period, they looked good. Then the third period, it seemed like something was said in the room or something. Energy changed a little bit. The Oilers came out and they dictated play in that third period, which got them their third goal. Regula gets beat on a off the rush play and Stahl buries it. It's rough. You want him to have that back, but
did Roslovic tip that to Stahl?
Yeah,
he did.
He put it right on his.
Yeah,
put it right on his tape.
Regula loses his guy. Guy cuts across.
Right.
Roslovic tries to cut him off and tips it over to Stahl wide open. Unfortunate play. Regula probably needs to make a better play there. Hyman carrying on, because in the playoffs last year, Hyman's always been a physical guy, but I don't think he's been this big of a hitter before. Until last year's playoffs, before he got hurt. Hi, Big Uke. I know you can hear me.
There's Big Uke. Benny says hi. Hi, Benny. Hi, Benny, he says.
For last year's playoffs, Zach Hyman really showed the hits, the hitting side of himself more than usual, I would say, in the regular season. He's carried that on, at least into this game. 11 hits tonight. He hit everything in sight. And we talked about how the Oilers need to be more physical, and Zach Hyman embraces that. He embraced that tonight. Not their best win of the year. They haven't had a whole lot of them, but you take it. They woke up in that third period, played pretty well, and had a pretty solid overtime. Their top guys played great tonight. You take it. You take 2 points however you can get them.
Before on the pregame show, I said they've only had 2 satisfying games. Can we stretch it to 3 after tonight?
I do. I think Benny's a little jaded here. I don't know if the next door is making too much racket or what. But no, I liked. Look, you're going to get ebbs and flows in the game, and there were some sloppy plays in their own end. I'll say that. They were giving up way too many chances again. But you got NHL goaltending from Stuart Skinner tonight. That's NHL goaltending. That's the standard. You want other teams to have to do something special to get the puck past you. There were a number of great saves that he made. And let's face it, the goals that were allowed, we look at that last one, it was kind of Regula gets beat, but he's still kind of on his guy. Mm-hmm. And Roslovic comes down, makes a good play on getting the puck away. Unfortunately, it goes straight to Stahl.
Right to Stahl, yeah. All right, so the Oilers get the 4-3 overtime victory. Was it perfect? No. Was it entertaining? Yes. Was it satisfying? We say yes. So let us know your thoughts, 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat as well. Of course, the postgame show brought to you by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to ejectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Tom and Joaquin at Boston Pizza, Westgate, 170th Street, 90th Avenue. Happy birthday, Reno. Great time, great turnout here. Benny Thompson back at EST Global HQ. Let's dive into the inbox. First-time texter, we're going to give him the honors. It's the Zamboni guy. Says, Hyman looked mid-season form, net front presence, physical. Good on him to get on the score sheet in his first game back. A little bit of criticism at the start of the season for McDavid. Some saying he's looking a little off. I think he's going to be just fine. Great game from 97. I thought Skinner had a really solid game as well. Don't think the Oilers should be giving up on him quite yet. They have put a lot of time into the guy. Great win by the Oilers. Iffy at times. They seem to look a lot more confident with number 18 in the lineup, though. Best Oilers show in the city. Keep up the good work. Love Edmonton Sports Talk. Signed, the Zamboni guy. First time text. That's a great first text.
Thank you. Zamboni guy.
This one says Stuart Skinner and Evan Bouchard with the Oilers, or win the Oilers another game.
Awesome. Love you guys. Awesome. Like some of the humor that you see in this, it's well done.
Quite enjoyable. Quite enjoyable. Library Pat chiming in says, sometimes you paint a Picasso, sometimes you paint a barn. Blech, but we'll take it.
We got my colleague, the guy that the host of EST Afternoons, Hernan, saying they were dominated for 30 minutes. Can't say it was one of their better games. Hyman awesome. Well, I realized that. I was hoping Hernan would come down here so we could discuss the game together. Obviously, we're just work buddies, not social buddies. But look, they found a way to bounce back. I think that's the most encouraging thing. Yes, that 30 minutes was a dangerous time for the Edmonton Oilers, but they survived on the back of some really good goaltending. When is the last time you could say that? Stuart Skinner held the fort, kept them within striking distance, kept the game tied, essentially, for that whole 30 minutes where they were thoroughly outplayed. And what's the sign of a good team on the road? Like, against one of the best teams in the National Hockey League is how you're going to bounce back. And like you said, Benny, there was probably a little bit of a readjustment between the second and third period there. Some things discussed. I'm sure a lot of Oilers fans, I know we complain about the loading the big guys up, but it was kind of nice to see Leon Connor and Hyman together on a line. It was just
like old times.
The band was getting back together to a sense. And on that goal, where do you see Hyman just sacrificing his body, taking the hit to make a play? Leon with a great pass and McDavid with a good finish. And after that goal, how nice is it to see Connor scoring a goal and showing a little bit more emotion?
That whole group out there did. Ekholm was getting fired up. It's nice. Obviously, Rosvikas came in and played very well. Savoy's had his moments this year where he's looked pretty good on that top line, but that top line is simply just nowhere near as powerful without 18 out there. And he knows how to play that role with those guys perfectly. And sets up Draisaitl to feed McDavid for the goal. Yeah, it's nice to see some emotion out of those guys being happy. Because I think a lot of Oilers fans haven't been the happiest, and I think it's a direct lead to the leaders not looking like they're happy when they're playing out there. I like seeing that.
Do you think that came from Hyman tonight, guys? Like Benny, you just said, you saw Ekholm get into it. Bouch was kind of, Eric and I were laughing. He was kind of throwing guys around one shift there. Is he the main catalyst to this Oilers team?
When you look at tonight, Gager and Benny, it's a good case for yes. A really good case for yes, because they had some pushback. Now, again, Hernan points out that a lot of the momentum, basically the whole second period, was in the Oilers zone, but there was a little bit of fire and passion and extra gumption from the guy who had 11 hits while the rest of the team had 15. Or I think they tweaked it on the NHL website to the rest of the crew had 16. So,
okay.
Yeah.
But he had 5 in the first period, or 6 in the first period.
3 in that first
shift.
And
good pops. Really good pops.
Yeah. Okay, a lot of love for Zach Hyman and his first performance of the season. Conroe, Texas said, Hyman, easily the best Oiler from puck drop to the end. Skinner, 917 save percentage despite 2 bad goals. A messy win, but a needed one. Hopefully Frederic can take a page from Hyman's book. Okay, the bad goals that Conroe, Texas is talking about. I'll put it to you, goaltender.
What was a bad goal?
From Carolina, Like
I can tell you on Twitter right now, everyone is not very happy about Carolina's second goal, where Skinner's looking at the corner. I don't necessarily agree with it.
Okay. So
we need to talk about it. We said we're going to talk about it.
We were going to talk about this. So, listen, everyone's probably going to not agree with me on this one, but I'll tell you from what happens in that type of situation. The only mistake that Stuart Skinner made was his initial push across was too hard, and he lost a little bit of control. Okay, that happens. Like he made a good push across, and made it so the guy couldn't shoot the puck, but the puck goes behind the net. If Stuart Skinner immediately goes back, he's kind of stuck in no man's land because I'm not sure who the player who was behind the net with it, but he just shoots it and banks it right off Skinner into the back of the net. Okay, so yes, there was a little bit of a mistake, and a lot of people will look at his position and go, why doesn't he get back in the net? What is he doing? The reason why he didn't move at all in that particular situation is because as soon as he twists his body, whoever was behind the net is going to shoot that puck right off him, and it's going to go in the net. So he's kind of stuck in no man's land. So I understand it that people will look at that play and go, what's going on? But Stuart Skinner cannot go back in his net in that situation with that guy where he is with the puck, because he'll score from there, and you don't want to go from there. Makes a great pass to the other side, and maybe Stuart could have made a better play across, but again, he overplayed a little bit of the first bit, but you can't move back in that situation.
So he he got himself into a jam.
Yeah,
tough to get out of
I think people will look at where he is and go, what is he doing?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but it was the initial push across to try to stay with the guy, so he didn't score. But then the whole positioning afterwards, he was a shooting duck at that point and wasn't allowed, because you could see the Carolina player was looking to do that exact play as soon as he would have seen Stuart Skinner go back in the net.
You know what's weird is how he was like putting his glove against the post, trying to take away an opening.
Exactly.
So when you pointed out what he was trying to do, even though I'm like, oh, he is so screwed right now, I get it, but you're right. Like the over push.
The over push is what caused the whole situation, but you're going to do that, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to do that. So, yeah, it looks a lot worse than it actually is.
780-218-9999. Jump into the Nasty Chat. Nasty Chat's buzzing. The inbox also doing pretty good. Okay, let's go to Big Dave. Says, I definitely agree with Gage. Skinner was the best Oiler on the ice tonight. I thought the Oil took their foot off the gas again after going up 2, but they got back on it, and dare I say they were entertaining tonight and played with some heart for the 35 minutes that they played hard. And then Big Dave added, if you want proof that they expect to win, look at how much they keep 97-29-2 on the ice. That one came up from the other day. Sorry, I'm getting crossed up with my text because a bunch were coming in about Skinner that I wanted to get to. And Hyman, doesn't sign text guy, said if you want to see the value of Hyman to the team, look at the number of regulation wins they had since he's been hurt. I think the number is 3. Yeah, lots of overtime victories for the Oilers, lots of overtime games. I think that was their 9th in 20 games, so almost half of the season has been played in overtime, or the games have been played in overtime. Colorado Rusty says, good win. Hyman was fired. Trent Frederic needs to take notes. That's how you play that role.
Yeah.
They had one of the, was it the first goal? It was the first goal against, right? Jake Wallman is behind the net for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And like 4 different guys, I'm exaggerating a little bit. There were a couple of guys that did the loop, left it. The crowd started booing. And after all that time, waiting, somebody had to go take Jankowski out of the way from the net front. Jankowski, for crying out loud. They make the one pass, Gager, try the second pass, turnover, back in their own zone, pass, goal.
Yeah.
Stinky. And I think it was Frederic on one of those passes.
On a controlled breakout.
Yes.
You should be able to at least get the puck out of the zone. Maybe it's not a tape-to-tape out, but it's off the glass or flipped into the neutral zone indirectly, indirect pass. You can't allow a goal against, let alone a turnover, when you have full possession and in your setup breakout like that. But I got to get to Shaggy and St. Albert. Look, Shaggy, I love your participation in the text line, and I know you're hard on this team. But when you say blow 2-goal lead, being outplayed for most of the game, I disagree that they were outplayed for most of the game. Like, yeah, there was a 30-minute span, but the other 30 minutes, the Oilers were right in it, right? And they won in overtime. They had the puck in overtime. So if you look at the total time that the Oilers kind of played it, they matched the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. It was an extended period of time, I get that. And you do see another blown 2-goal lead, but that's kind of the status quo I see around the league now. It's not...
No lead is safe. That's been a motto early this season.
I mean, the games that I watch, I see a number of teams up by 2, and the other team comes back, right? No lead is safe in this league, it seems like right now.
Let's go to this one. Says, most of the year, I've shared the blame for the Oilers' struggles across the entire team. But tonight, I'm signaling out one guy. I've had enough of Darnell Nurse. I can't stand watching this guy play hockey anymore. Unfortunately, I know there is almost no way they ever trade him. If this team never wins a cup during McDavid's time here, I'm certain that when we look back on these years, we'll be able to say they couldn't win the big one because of 25 and his outrageous contract.
I mean, I hope this comes internally, and Darnell Nurse should know this, but I mean, they're game's tied, and you get absolutely blown up on your own blue line because you're not really aware. But how do you respond from that? That's what you want to see. And how does he respond? He goes by taking a penalty, being mad that he got hit too clean and got blown up. That's what we call in the biz a selfish penalty. And you cannot have one of your leaders, a guy wearing a letter, take a penalty like that is completely unnecessary in such a crucial part of the game. I mean, I'm hoping he's buying a round of drinks for the guys after that penalty, because that was completely me, I, and not thinking about anything about it than himself in that situation. I found myself quite perturbed at that one.
Well, you brought it up immediately to me. You're like, what was you? Well, you laughed out loud.
Yeah, I
did.
I
think you were unimpressed to the nth degree with that play. Me, I play. Well said, Joaquin. All right, let's go to the Wolf texting and said, last year I don't think we could say Skinner stole us a single game. There's Lieutenant Eric. Good to see him and his wife Danny. They're off to a house party. We could for Pickard. So far this year, we can only say Skinner has stolen a couple. He has, and he made good saves tonight. Yes, we begrudged that second goal, but Joaquin kind of pointed out he overpushed and got stuck in a bad
spot. Both goalies allowed a goal that they would really like to have back, right? The Roslovic first goal, I mean, Darnell Nurse worked a little give and go with Freddie Anderson in that case, right? That was a terrible play. So, you know what? They wash out in the end. The Oilers took advantage of that situation, and the Hurricanes made a great play when it counted, when Skinner was in a bad position.
All right, 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat as well. It's the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show live on location at Boston Pizza, 170th Street, 90th Avenue, a.k.a. Westgate. Gazzola, Gage, and Thomson with you. And the second game is underway. The Jets visiting the Calgary Flames. Oh, by the way, the Maple Leafs lose late to the Blackhawks. That's too bad. Oh, shucks. Everybody feels awful for them. And by that, I mean nobody in oil country except for those that are hidden, secret Leafs fans. We know they pop up whenever the Leafs come to town. Benny Thompson, you see anything that you want to hit on before I dive back into the inbox?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to point out the lack of Bouchard talk, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah,
I mean that in a good way. I don't think there was too many of the Bouchard gas, which is what I've been saying the past couple games. I think his game is progressing slowly, and maybe not still to the $10.5 million that everyone wants him to play at, but. Right. I think it's getting
Certainly
there.
not.
Very simple game from Bouch.
Yes.
Good.
You know?
Thank you, finally.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think, I mean, rough start, but we've seen rough starts from Bouchard. Mm-hmm. Do you guys think that just with that, you know, the 10.5 price tag that he's have a good night. Have a good night, guys. Good to see you.
Good to see Cal and Sarah. Thank you for coming, guys. Have a good weekend. There you go. Oh, shout out to Fergie's Prostate and VR Montenegro for coming out as well. Big Uke and Jasmine and San and Karen and everybody's here. Good to see them. Okay, Go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought. I apologize. I cut you off.
What did I say?
We were talking about
Bouchard playing simple.
Bouchard playing simple.
Just the price tag, right? Like,
Yeah.
do you think that maybe he's been trying to earn that every shift instead of just trying to earn it over the whole year?
Gager, maybe, but like last year I was saying, was he thinking about the Four Nations face-off? Maybe, because he stunk until they announced that
contract year, maybe. So, but maybe there could be a little bit of a last 2 games. Bouchard settling in a little bit more. Could you say?
I hope so.
Yeah.
But Benny makes a good point. Less chatter about him tonight, and that means less negativity around him tonight. Okay. I'm going to get to the turning point of the game. I mean, this one's pretty straightforward tonight. The Oilers got that lead. We talk about how they blew it. We talk about the middle section of the game where, especially in the second, it looked like Carolina just had the puck in the Oilers zone the entire time. Better response in the third from the Oil, and then they get it into OT, relinquishing a lead, obviously. But the turning point of the game brought to you by Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. We were giving away the grand prize. Thought we had time. We had to do a redraw. And just 19 seconds in, while we were giving away a Miami Dolphins Tyreek Hill jersey and toque, Leon Draisaitl wins it in OT. Nice wrister snapper off the burger flipper. And it gets Edmonton, locks up that second point for the Oil, and gets them that second win on this road trip. 2 wins in 3 games so far. They haven't been textbook.
Nope.
But they've gotten the job done. Both wins coming in overtime, and then they lose.
And a win. I think, Tommy, that if we at the beginning of looking at this road trip before they went out on it, this was kind of a scheduled loss.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's fair.
I thought that they might be able to get the first 2, but this was going to be a very difficult game. Even though the fact that they were getting the Carolina Hurricanes on a back-to-back, but after watching the game last night, echoed a lot of the same kind of themes with the Vancouver Canucks. But I'm impressed with the Carolina Hurricanes. They're a really good team. They're going to be in the playoffs. They might be back to the Eastern Conference Final.
And then losing 4 or 5.
Probably to the Florida Panthers.
They're not built to win.
If the Florida Panthers get healthy again, they will be in the Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah, and your idea was solidified of them being a team that they could roll any line out there, and you're like,
But we were talking, man, and I'm like, I purposely was trying to, okay, what line is out there?
Right.
And I'm like, gosh, it looks like the Aho line. Oh, no, it's the Stalt. Like, they all play the exact same way. It's just, like we talk about identity with the Edmonton Oilers. What's their identity? Like, the Carolina Hurricanes are kind of like the masked men. You know, you don't know who it actually is. Or there's that one painting with the bowler hat and the apple. I forget what that name is. The name of that painting.
I don't know art.
Well, I'll culture you later, Tommy.
Thank you.
But there's a name for that painting. It's because they're all the same. You know, the only one you kind of notice is Stahl because he's so much bigger than everyone else. But there's a way that they play. They play quick. They play aggressive. They're a really good team throughout their whole lineup. Like they're from their first line to their fourth line, and the Edmonton Oilers aren't quite there yet. You know, there's a distinct difference. Obviously, you get something different because the talent level is so high, but you would like to see a little bit more continuity between like lines 2 and 4, I think.
I really want to read this text. It just says, Hyman brings the power of friendship.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You know what? I do worry after this game. This is the first thing that went through my head after the game with Hyman because he played so well. Is obviously there's a lot of juice, a lot of adrenaline. This guy had to watch his team in the Stanley Cup Finals and through the first 20 games of the season, wanting to get it back in there because you want to help, you want to make a difference. And what happens when that adrenaline wears off? You know, sometimes we see a little bit of a stall with a player until he gets back. But by all accounts, I mean, the one shot he had, I thought maybe he dusted it off a little bit too much, but he still got a good shot. Great save by Freddie Anderson. Was going 5-hole. He was able to shut it down real quick. But yeah, great game by Zach Hyman.
Atif texting in, Wheels himself says, big win for the Oilers. Their defense was good. Bouchard played one of his best games of the year. Yes, Atif. The bar was not set very high, though, but good point. Goaltending, good. Stu made some big saves. Offense, Hyman looks great. McDavid and Dry having fun. Signed, Atif. Jeff getting in there says, Skinner got us the win. Good for him. He will need to play at this level for many nights this year to overcome an absolute tire fire of defense. Even Louis DeBrusque was in disbelief in the second period at how the team could not exit their own zone. Guys, in your opinion, what has happened to this defense? That's from Jeff. And Jeff, that is a phenomenal question, one that we've been trying to pick apart the last couple of weeks for sure. And I mean, Gager, you and I were talking about it yesterday in the kitchen back at the EST Global HQ. You've been talking with Benny. They just don't pick up their assignments.
Yeah, and that's
to simplify it.
There's a little, sometimes when things are going wrong, guys try to do too much. And you have to have trust in your partner to do things too, right? Like we've seen from, I don't want to single people out in certain cases, but Darnell Nurse has been victim of that a lot. When things aren't going well, it seems like he tries to do 5 or 6 jobs, right? Instead of just doing his. And maybe that's a portion of it. Look, that was 30 minutes where the game should have went the other way for the Carolina Hurricanes. Mm-hmm. They have to find a way to curb the other team's momentum, and part of that is just maybe it's just an icing, getting the puck down. Maybe that's what you do, right? So when you're that tired, just get an icing. Maybe then you can get the draw, win it, and get it out. But there was. I can't remember a game, Tommy, where they showed the ice times of the players in their own zone. Like they must have done it 3 times tonight because they were hemmed in for so long and just showing everybody how long they've been on the ice. It's troublesome, but I think the way that they were able to respond in the third period is a good sign. But you'd like to see them be able to get the momentum back a little bit quicker and not allow a team to have 30 minutes of chances against your goaltender.
I'll give one guy credit. We talked about him we isolated him a bit on the pregame show, and we didn't like his game lately, and that was Andrew Mangiapane. Mm-hmm. He actually looked like he was wheeling and dealing out there a bit tonight.
Yeah, there was a shift. We were like, geez, the puck's following around on this one.
Who's 88?
Yeah. Is that Eric Lindros? No, it was. There was. I'd like to see a little bit more of that, obviously, but that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. Because look, I think when it's all said and done, I think you're going to see Mangiapane in the bottom 6, but that's good. That's great. That's a great scenario because that means your top 6 is doing quite well, I think.
He finished -1, 11:35 time on ice, and he also had 1 hit. That was Mangiapane's night. He won a faceoff too, so 100% on the dot if you want to count that for anything. I don't really think we will put much value in it, but he was moving better and didn't give up any delicious pizzas to the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's go to Mike in Thunder Bay. Says it's called Man in a Bowler Hat by Renee Marguerite. Joaquin.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Man in a Bowler Hat. I said bowler hat, didn't I?
You did say bowler hat. Yeah. Correct. That is good. This text says, can you make the playoffs with just overtime wins? Has anyone done the math? Boston a couple of years ago, I think, had 23 overtime games, and they had picked up, I think, 15 wins. I might be off a bit on that, but they had a significant amount of victories and points from overtime that one year, and they ended up getting bounced, I think, by Florida. In the first round.
And lost game 7.
Kind of a phony top place team.
Well,
if you look at it that way.
Wasn't it Calgary that was in like 20 overtime game or shootouts they got to and lost a bunch of them? If they would have won like 4 of them, they would have been in the playoffs, right? Like
it's crazy.
So,
well, them's the rules.
Yeah.
All right, 780-218-9999. It is the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show live on location, Boston Pizza Westgate on 170th Street, right across the street from West Edmonton Mall. Big thank you to Tony, Mariah, Jada, Jess, and the entire crew, Shay, having everybody down here. And they have UFC going on right now. And then we've got the Flames and the Jets going on. Great time overall here tonight. My dad's birthday. He's having an awesome time. The whole family's here.
Last day is 69.
Yeah.
He's going out with in his roaring 60s. Let's just say that.
He's going to be a 70-year-old man tomorrow.
He's going to be a 70-year-old hungover man.
Yeah. Touche. Benny Thomson back at EST Global HQ. You can get into the nasty chat as well. Hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it very much as the Oilers pick up a 4-3 victory. Do we have any clips yet? Nothing from the Oilers?
Nothing has came out yet. Nope, nothing.
Okay. Well, then let's do the player of the game, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater downtown area for over 18 years. He's community-driven, understands what it takes to make a difference in our city, so check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Benny Thompson, the floor is yours.
Gage, you better be happy with me here. Stuart Skinner is going to get player of the game today. Held this team in when things were going bad. He's not one of the 3 stars, which now fits my criteria for player of the game, so that's good.
Benny does this now.
Yeah, but you don't want to highlight the same guys the NHL did already. But, obviously the big boys played well, but the Oilers wouldn't have had a chance to win the game in overtime, go up in the third period. They wouldn't have those chances with Stuart Skinner. Didn't have a pretty solid game tonight. So a 917, above 900, which is also nice to see. Sometimes the good numbers don't follow him, even though when he plays well. But, a 917 for him. He's your player of the game today because he held them in it when things weren't going great for the Oilers.
Stuart Skinner. He's the Damon Bunting Real Estate Player of the Game. Damon Bunting now with the agency. How did the Oilers do with Bunting? Damon Bunting, which was point number 3 of Game Changers, and you were talking about the real estate in front of the net at both ends.
They wouldn't have been good realtors because they wouldn't have sold much real estate. The Carolina Hurricanes dominated the chessboard tonight. Too many good scoring chances from the middle. Although you did see the effect of Zach Hyman going to the front of the net. There was a few other instances where there was a little bit more battle. Matthias Ekholm was a beast out there. He looked very difficult to play against tonight. So there was a little bit more of a mean streak in tonight's game for some reason. But I think it was a step in the right direction, Tommy. I'm not going to say they can. There were times when they won those types of battles, but it has to be a lot more difficult in front of your own net. Like other teams have to battle a little bit harder to get to those good areas, and with time to create scoring opportunities. You're not going to survive too long with that.
Nicely done. Well said, sir. Okay, we have some critiques or comments in regard to our art knowledge. The Man in a Bowler Hat by Renee Marguerite is also known as the Son of Man.
Oh, really?
Yes. But this text says it's the Son of Man with the apple. Bowler hat is different. But when I looked up bowler hat painting, the Son of Man popped up. I don't have a clue. I've seen this. I don't know what it means. I'm bad at interpreting art. I'm just glad we got some kind of art reference.
We got to get to Paris, to the Musée d'Orsay, you and I, Tommy, and check out some Van Goghs, if you know what I mean.
Do we have to wear scarves?
We will be wearing scarves.
Oh, okay. I'll wear a scarf. I don't care. You know what? In Europe, everybody wears a scarf, but they wear it cool.
Yeah. We will both have thin, plunging neckline sweaters with scarves.
I'm okay with that. Gager, if we can do it. And can we ride bicycles?
I don't know any other way, Tommy.
Okay, perfect. Let's go to Coach Mike. He chimes in, says, Hyman needs to teach a class for the bottom 6. Not the best wheels, not the best hands, but so effective in the ozone. Was it McDavid pointing at Hyman?
I don't know.
Or was he pointing at Draisaitl?
Draisaitl, and then once Draisaitl came, he pointed at Hyman. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Oh,
yeah. I mean, I thought he might have been pointing at both, like because he was going like this.
Boom.
Yeah,
Good job.
And I think because both plays were so good. Like, that's a great play by Hyman. Knowing you're going to get hit and then doing the indirect bank shot off the boards right to Draisaitl because you know that was a great play, man.
Yeah.
Great play.
The text talking about the bottom six need taking a page. I mean, his name has come up quite a bit. I understand this is a frequent conversation, and it's probably getting a little tiring for us. But Trent Frederic, lowest time on ice today at 7 minutes and 8 seconds.
I'll just say it. He was not good.
Yeah. Had a brutal turnover in the second period. Like, to me, it's Zach Hyman is the exact guy he should be modeling, is Hyman. He doesn't have the best wheels, doesn't have the best hands, but at your worst, you can at least hit someone. You're 6'3", dude. Like, it's time to make an impact here.
And maybe this is what happens. This is the Hyman effect that we'll see that grows throughout the whole lineup. Like, and you know how I said Bouchard, maybe he was trying to fulfill this contract. Maybe there's a little bit of that with Frederic too. Like, players will always go, well, I have to I want to show that I'm worth this.
Right.
And how do you show your worth in most cases is by being productive offensively and putting points on the board. I mean, yeah, you want a little bit of contribution, obviously, but when things are right in the pooper, how do you get your game back? You start at the small little building blocks to create that foundation. And what's the foundation of Frederic's game? Being physical, get your feet moving, being a nuisance. Like, those three things right there. If he were to just maybe simplify it a little bit and just focus on that. And I remember, I forget what coach it was. I think it was Babcock, actually. But he just said during a Leafs game, he goes, just watch Hyman, all you bums, because that's how you should play. Essentially, is what he said, right?
Sure.
But it's true. If you had, I don't know what's better, 20 Hymans or 5 Connor McDavids. The 20 Hymans probably beat them all the time.
Listen, is that like having all middle guys against all skinny fast guys in the video game ice hockey for Nintendo?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah. You can't win that way.
You can only have like one of those little fast guys in there, the skinny ones. Otherwise, you get knocked all over the ice. That was a great game.
That was an awesome game.
So much fun. And you get the big fat guy.
The fat guy with the big shot.
And that's where you get the fight. And the cannon, you hold it, and then bam. I love that game. It was so much fun. Okay, I want to point this out. This is an aside because there's 13 games on the schedule tonight. Look at these frickin' weirdos, Joaquin. Sportsnet put out a video of goalies and eyes, and it's Hellebuck like darting eyes left, right. And then you got Dustin Wolf going like up, down, side, up, down, side, up, down, side. Deep breaths. Did you do stuff like this?
No, but I should have. Probably would have helped.
Flip water in the air, track it.
Yeah, no, it's all eye tracking and stuff. No, I did nothing like this. I was looking for where the coffee was in the dressing room. That was as far as but there's something to it. I mean, if you just take 2 points like on a wall and try to focus back and forth on them, it's amazing because I looked into it and actually tried it.
Okay. While you were playing?
No, this was afterwards. Okay. And I'm like, this is actually quite exhausting. Like when you're moving your eyes, and it's a point of work with focusing on things and doing it so quickly. So that's what they're doing. It's actually really good eye exercises. Even if we're playing men's league, it probably might help.
I find it fascinating, and I noticed it was like Holtby that would do the tracking.
Yeah, I think Holtby did was the first guy that after every goal that was part of his method to reset, right? So, okay, helmet goes up, water, take a drink, water bottle, follow it, and then the goal's behind you, right? So that was again.
So it's mental too.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Any little tricks like that, like I think I would skate to my left side if a goal went in and just try to reset like that. If my team scored, though, most of the time I'd go right, which is weird. I didn't even realize it till later on.
Like your little lap?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. I'm a weird guy.
Well, no, you're lovable. Tell me how often, when you were in your single days, you would wheel into the corner just to see which girls were in the crowd.
Single days? Quite a bit, actually. Yeah, it was. It was really bad is when you got busted looking too.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember one place the girl's boyfriend looked at me looking at his girl, and he was like banging on the glass and
What's
yelling.
What's he gonna do?
No, but he was making a joke about it too. He was making that don't look at my girl, focus on the game, and I was laughing under my mat.
Well, I mean, you're. It's a power move on your part. Total power move.
It was, and back in the day, this was really funny. I was sitting on the bench, but I don't know if you know Mark Lachance.
I remember the name. I think you've told me a bit about him.
Yeah, Lachance Realty is a realtor in Sherwood Park. He would sit directly across from me, and I would subtly give him the bird from the bench.
Yep.
And he would kind of look, and I could see him looking at me, and then I would just give him the bird all the time, and he couldn't figure out if I was doing it or not. But then I finally made eye contact with him, and I think I gave him the double bird at that point, and then he was just telling all his buddies, "Look, Joaquin's giving me the bird." So really focused in the game, Joaquin.
Yes, you should have done those eye exercises.
That would have probably been better than giving Mark the bird.
We got a text comes in from my dad's buddy Terry. He says, "Can you please confirm that every time your dad has a birthday, the Oilers win?" Well, November 16th is mine Papa's birthday, and I just looked it up. Edmonton on November 16th, since their inaugural season in the National Hockey League of 79-80, have gone 7-7-3 with one tie.
Wow.
The last few, well, they won. Today's November 15th, so Terry, it's kind of off, but they lost to Toronto in overtime last year. They lost to LA. They lost to Winnipeg. They lost to Dallas. They lost to St. Louis. They've actually lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row on my dad's birthday. So thank God they played on the 15th. There you go, Lash. Take that. Thank you for the text. Thank you for coming out. Let's go inside the Oilers locker room. We're going to hear from the captain, Connor McDavid, and we'll get to a couple of texts as we continue on here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show on EST. Here he is, Connor McDavid.
From your group here to come out with the W tonight.
Yeah, it took a lot. They're a great team over there. Just dug in, kind of hanging on for a little bit, and I think I'm sounding like a broken record, honestly, when we win, but it just found a way to win a game. I know it's painful to say, but they're a really good team over there. We hung on.
Yeah, we know that they're a great even strength team, especially in that second period. It looked like they were taking it a little bit, but Stuart Skinner was terrific between the pipes. What do you say about his performance?
Stuart was great, honestly. He gives us a chance to win, and did tonight. We were taking on water there for a little while, and he was making saves and giving us a chance. Special teams were good. We get a kill. We only get one power play. We score. That's a big part of our game.
I know you mentioned that you sound like a broken record, but when you guys continue to come out with points somehow, finding ways, what does that kind of say about this?
We're just scrapping and clawing our way through the first quarter here, we're getting points on the board, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
How about having Zach Hyman back?
Yeah, amazing. It's just great to see him. Obviously, great to see him playing. Significant injury, and I got firsthand to see him work his way back, and it wasn't always easy. It never is. Sometimes people forget the human side of it. It's an emotional thing to go through a significant injury like that, and to see him back and playing and healthy and moving really well. It's definitely uplifting for our group.
We see the impact he has on the ice, but how much taller are you able to stand when his presence is in the locker room?
Huge. He's a great leader. Brings a lot of positivity to our room, which is needed. So he's a big part of our team on the ice, big part of our team off the ice. Leadership, you name it, he does it. So great to have him back.
What is the mindset like when you go over the boards with Leon and it's 3-on-3 and the game opens up for you a little bit? What do you think? I mean, how do you approach that? You're there to score, but is it right off the bat? Because that took 19 seconds.
Yeah, honestly, I think we've had better years 3-on-3. Our little 3-man group there. We've had lots of opportunities, lots of games have gone to overtime, and we haven't been able to be the difference in a lot of nights. So that's what we get paid to do. We get paid to be the difference, and tonight we were able to do that. But we've got lots of experience playing 3-on-3. We enjoy it. Playing with 2 special players out there, so it's always exciting.
Okay, there's the captain, Connor McDavid. High praise for Zach Hyman. The emotional side of injury, you don't really hear that very often. Does that resonate with you? Did you ever go through a bad injury during your playing days?
Oh, only one. I tore my groin in Germany.
Right.
And I'd never been injured before. I was lucky enough. For an extended amount of time, and I thought I'd be good in a week, and I went on the ice and I go, gosh, I can't do this. And it's tough. It was really tough because you think you're invincible, first of all. It's like your body's betraying you, and as I get older, it betrays me on a daily basis. But it's and then you get into a point where the hardest thing about being injured is you don't feel like you're part of the team anymore. And it's weird because you are, but in your own mind, you're going in, you're doing something else. The guys are all together. They're all laughing. You're not really part of it. Right. You're leaving at different times. They're going on the road. You're probably staying at home. So it's a really weird you're kind of in limbo as a player, and you're just trying to get better as quickly as possible because, for Zach Hyman, he's a pretty established NHLer, but for younger guys in the NHL that are, that are maybe in and out of the lineup, they get injured. You're worried about your spot. Is it going to be there when I get back? Am I going to get back in the line? All these different things start playing in your head, right? So it's really it not only takes its toll, a bad injury on physically, but I would say mentally, Tommy, if you're out for an extended period of time, there's a lot of mental kind of rehab that you have to do to get your mind right to be able to perform when you do get better physically.
I get what you're saying. It's weird. You're kind of like the side piece to your own team. You've seen
the guys that are injured. They walk around like they're walking dead. Yep. They're just kind of, it's weird.
It's almost like they don't know if they're allowed to be part of the group.
And it's funny.
That's a good point.
I don't want to say that you don't want them around, but and hockey players aren't all superstitious, but kind of the injured guys, they are kind of lepers. You don't want them too close because you don't want to get injured too.
Well, I appreciate your honesty.
it's not great, but you're like, oh, okay, take your ACL and go away.
Just go get better. Yeah. Let me know when you're good. And then the other thing he said that stood out to me, guys, was we're kind of scrapping and clawing our way to victories here. And I think that is fair to say, even though we liked parts of tonight's game.
I said it on the afternoons. I think I've said it a few times. I hate saying it. I don't like when players say it, but there is something to it a little bit. It's called the process. Every year's different. This Oilers team is completely different than what we've seen before. They're still figuring it out, and that's a perfect way to say how they've won the games that they have is just clawing and scratching and trying to figure it out as they go. But, they beat a Carolina Hurricane team that, from what I've seen, is one of the best teams in the league. And although they pulled the rope-a-dope for an extended amount of time, they were still able to manage to get the lead, hold it for a bit, although they came back, but get into overtime. So that's the mark of a good team. I'll say that.
Well said. A couple of texts here as we wind things down. This one says, hey, Tommy and Gager and Benny, I wish I was there with you guys on my birthday. Oh. Happy to see the Oilers pull off the overtime winner. Rob from the Grove. Happy birthday, Rob.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Very nice. All
Try to
right.
keep it on the rails tonight.
It is Saturday. And then this one, this is an interesting one. I can only tell you what I've experienced and what I know about it. It says, would there be any relationship between McDavid and Taylor Hall? Do they chat with one another after being roommates? From what I've heard from 97 and others around, I don't think so.
I'm
Luke
sure.
Gazdick would know better.
Yeah. Look, when you play on the same team, especially as roommates, like
They didn't stay together as roommates for very long.
No.
I just remind people of that.
But I mean, even teammates that you're close with, right?
Yeah.
So let's. I'm just going to use me as an example, Tommy. So both times when I was first with Edmonton and my most recent stint with Edmonton Oilers, my best friend on the team, I would have to say, was Dan Clear.
Yeah.
Right. And Dan and I probably haven't spoken in over a decade, but I guarantee if he were to walk through that door, we would pick it up right like it was the last game, like the last game of the season together, right? So I'm sure there's that type of relationship. From what I see with Connor, his closest relationships are with Darnell Nurse and Leon Draisaitl.
Yes.
Those are his boys. But when you're every day with the same guys in the locker room, they're all your friends. But it becomes harder, as I can say from experience, to cultivate those relationships when everything's said and done.
Yeah, well said. As well, hey, you've been saying a lot of things really nice. It's the jacket. It's you're dialed in. It's Saturday. You brought your A game.
Like, I know Skinner was the best, the player of the game, but I'll have to say this jacket is not only immaculate when I put it on, but there are magical properties because remember, Tommy, after the first 10 minutes, I took it off.
You did.
And I took it off for the whole second.
Whoops.
Put it back on in the third. What happens? Oilers win.
Around.
When Gage is in leather, the Oilers are better. That's just sun comes up and down, moon goes up and down. Gage wears leather, Oilers win.
Jeez. Like, was the cow sacred? There he is. Birthday boy's happy. Yep, there he is. Very happy. Hey, don't touch me. I'm just kidding. That's my dad. Happy birthday to my dad. He's had a great time, and shout out to everybody who came out, made his birthday that much more special. McDiesel says, gauge your swagger, and then Matthew Hyman says, Bad Benny, quiet tonight. Bad Benny, you want to add anything else? We got a couple minutes left here.
No, I feel like I have a voice. I feel like we've topped everything. This team is, I think, progressing, getting there. They won 3 or 4. I guess that's a stat.
Doesn't feel like it.
I know, but they've won 3 or 4 games now. That's 3 or 4. That's 3 or 4 when Yanmark's in the lineup. So
coincidence?
I think not, Tom.
1-0 with 18 in the lineup. I guess maybe this team is better after all when they're healthy.
Well, good veteran NHLers go a long way. That's another thing. You don't have a young guy. Howard gets sent down. He's going to get some seasoning.
Yeah.
Stetcher did get claimed, surprisingly, by Toronto, who already has issues with the amount of players that are NHL caliber in and around that franchise. Like, they had the David Kampf. They had to mutually agree to terminate his contract, and you have fallout there. It's just weird how they just keep consuming players.
Do you think Berube will like Stetcher, though?
I think he'll like his level of competition and willingness to battle.
Yeah.
I think that
he's like a mad corgi out there, right?
Yeah.
A mad corgi. Like Cooper the corgi.
Cooper the corgi.
Just mad. He's just angry all the time. Okay, so the Oilers continue this road trip in Buffalo on Monday. Tomorrow is officially a travel day. We got the note from PR just a few minutes ago. The Sabres, not particularly great. They've stunned a couple of teams this year, but I don't know, Joaquin. Like, if you're the Oilers, how do you go into this game? You're expected to win, but it's the Oilers in Buffalo.
Hopefully that they're mature enough to know that they're going to get everyone's best game again. Like, there has been one game all year where the other team didn't show up, right? Every other game has been a competitive effort from the team that they're playing against. So they're going to get the Buffalo Sabres' best game. And if they don't come with what we saw in the first 10 and in the third period, they're going to lose an opportunity to gain some ground in the Pacific and get another 2 points. So it's unfortunately success. When you have success in the NHL, you become the measuring stick, however you want to put it, and other teams get up and get ready for you because they want to see how good they are, how well they match up in this year's NHL. If that's, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but
in this NHL,
in this particular season, right? So there's no nights off. Right. But there's not really many nights off in the NHL anyways, but because of what they've done in the past, they're going to get the best effort from the Buffalo Sabres Monday night.
Edmonton just 1 win in its last 5 visits to Buffalo. The record officially 1 win, 3 losses, 1 win, 2 losses, and 2 overtime losses. One of those was actually in the shootout. Their last win in Buffalo, March 6, 2023, that was a 3-2 victory. All of these are 3-2 decisions. The last 5 visits, with 2 of them being in extra time. Benny, before I have to throw one question at Joaquin, it's actually kind of a story thing. Do you want to take a quick look ahead to Buffalo as well?
Yeah, bottom of the Eastern Conference isn't surprising for Buffalo. But like Joaquin was mentioning, it doesn't matter what teams the Oilers are playing, they're going to have a target on their back. And I'm not fully sure. I guess I can probably look it up. The Oilers in Buffalo, I don't think have been great. So
I have it right here.
Yeah.
18, 15, and 4 with 7 ties.
I have one of those losses.
And I want to ask you about that right after Benny wraps up his thought.
So yeah, I don't know. They don't seem like they. I remember. Was it last year where they had that weird game where they got called back out after they thought the game was over?
A year or 2 ago, yeah.
Or maybe that was 2 years ago. But
that was in? Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, they were just. I don't know. Buffalo's a team where you can't take lightly because they still have some studs on that team. Tage Thompson scored a beautiful goal tonight. I don't know if you guys saw that against Detroit. So they have some good pieces there. Alex Tuck as well, right? But you got to handle business. You beat a good team in Carolina tonight. I would imagine you still want a better effort Monday, and if it is a better effort Monday, I would think the Oilers take down the Sabres. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens on Monday.
Edmonton faces a Buffalo team that's 2-4-4 in its last 10, and is 5-3-2 on home ice. Okay, that's what I was going to ask you because it was 1995, 96-ish, and it was at the old arena, the auditorium, and it was you at one end and the Dominator at the other. And if Dougie Waite had just fired it hard into the net instead of trying to slide it like a Rico Suave, Aquavelva, man, I think you would have gotten a W.
Yeah, I completely blame Doug Waite for me not getting the win that night, but Doug Waite had the Dominator dead to rights, and the Hasek did one of his Hasek-like throwing the glove back behind his head and making the save, and it was just the whole arena. I was like, what just happened? How did he stop that? And we lost to the Buffalo Sabres, but yeah, I had a pretty good game. That was a fun game. Played it against Pat LaFontaine.
Yep.
Stopped McGillney on a breakaway. So
damn.
I actually Craig Simpson, who was doing I think color at the time.
He had just retired. Back issues.
He was doing it in Buffalo. Yeah. Back at the hotel, we were all in Dougie's room having a few beers after the game, and Craig came by and he came up to me and said, "Hey, Joaquin, I enjoyed watching you. Played a great game today."
I love that. He's a classy guy.
That was made my night.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Gager? I remember that game. I was like 9 or 10 years old, and it was weird because I think it was CFRN would do the regional broadcast, and for whatever reason, they did that one in Buffalo.
Weird.
Yes, and I remember watching it, and Doug Waite, I'm like, oh, what a move. Oh, my God, what the hell just happened? And I went back and watched it recently, and he was so nonchalant about burying it.
I know. He could have rifled that thing in. Yeah. That's a message to all you kids. You got the open net, bury it. Don't just shoot it across the line. Don't give a goalie a chance because we'll stop it.
There you go. Straight from a goaltender who is full of crap. you Sally, you showboat, you do what you got to do, kid. I'm just kidding. He's actually right. Sometimes they say that. Gager, this has been fun. Thank you for being here today.
My pleasure,
the leather jacket looked great, and it came through once again.
Whew. Now it's back in the closet.
Hey, you know what? Put it up. Put it in the garment bag. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Keep
most
that
people,
thing
how
fresh.
put their jerseys. I have this in the jersey case.
Well done, sir. And it's like airtight. No air can get, no oxygen can get in there. It stays fresh. Benny, excellent stuff as always, my friend. That's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. Big thank you to Tony and Curtis and Mariah, the whole
Great
crew
night.
here at Boston Pizza, 170th and 90th. That is Westgate. Starting November 18th, guys, it's going to be pizza days for Ben. All proceeds from pizza sales will go to the Ben Stelter Foundation. $1 from kids' pizzas, $2 from individual, $3 from small, $4 from mediums, and $5 from each large pizza for those 5 days goes directly to the Ben Stelter Foundation. So I just want to get that in there. That's going to do it. Great show, great time. Thank you to everybody for listening, for watching. We appreciate you. Enjoy your Sunday. We're back on Monday. Full slate of shows starting at 6 a.m. with the morning show. Enjoy the Grey Cup. And then we'll be back for the Oilers and the Sabres right here on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game show. For Gager, for Benny, I'm Tommy saying have a great night.